Hello, graduates, family, friends, Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, and distinguished guests. Welcome to Whatcom Community College's 2021 Virtual Commencement Ceremony. I am Ed Harry, Whatcom's Vice President for Instruction. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that Whatcom Community College resides on the unceded territory of the Coast Salish peoples. They cared for the lands that included what we'd call the Puget Sound region, Vancouver Island, and British Columbia since time immemorial. This gives us the great obligation and opportunity to learn how to care for our surrounding areas and all of the natural and human resources we require to live. I express my deepest respect and gratitude for our Indigenous neighbors, the Lummi Nation and Nooksack Tribe, for their enduring care and protection of our shared lands and waterways. Next, I'd like to introduce our national anthem singer, Emma Jardinsky. Emma is working on an Associate in Arts and Sciences degree at Whatcom. She began singing at 2 years old and has dreamed of singing at the WCC commencement ceremony since attending her brother's graduation several years ago. She is active in her high school's musical and play productions, and singing is her true passion. After graduating, Emma plans to become an emergency medical technician.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Emma. It is now my pleasure to welcome Whatcom Community College's president, Dr. Kathy Hiani Brown.
Graduates, I know the college experience and commencement ceremony you may have envisioned was drastically changed due to the pandemic. However, the achievements we celebrate today are uniquely yours, and the virtual ceremony does not diminish the importance of today. I hope you are celebrating this occasion surrounded by people who supported you in reaching this moment of achievement. It is at this time that I would like to recognize members of the Board of Trustees. Board Chair Rebecca Johansen, Steve Adelstein, Wendy Bulkey, John Pedlow, and Teresa Taylor. Thank you, trustees, for all of your good work on behalf of our college and our students. I want to especially express gratitude to our dedicated faculty and staff for their incredible work. They continue to innovate, to enhance, and support the student experience. They came together as a community to support your learning during these challenging times. Their dedication to your success has never been more apparent and more appreciated. I am honored to share this moment with you, a moment that celebrates not only an important milestone in your lives, but your perseverance through an exceptionally challenging time. Through the pandemic, you have demonstrated resilience and focus. And what you have gone through this year has become an act of courage. As I reflect on the past year, I can't help but think about the importance of courage as individuals, as a nation, and as a global community. I am reminded of the words of American poet and civil rights activist Maya Angelou, who said, "Courage is the most important of the virtues, because without it, no other virtue can be practiced consistently." It is important to know that courage isn't about not just being afraid. It is about choosing to act in spite of your fears. It is about following your dreams and passion despite uncertainties. It is about persevering in the face of adversity. It is about sharing the truth even when it's uncomfortable. It is about learning from mistakes and reaching for your dreams. Courage is what propels us forward in the face of hardships, with hope and a strength that the struggle is well and worth it. Courage isn't a given. It's something we must all develop and continue to practice. It requires us to be vulnerable and draw strength from within and from others, our loved ones, our teachers, our colleagues, and our community. Our desire for equity and hope for a brighter future inspires us to all have courage. Taking steps to pursue your educational goals requires courage. You don't or you didn't know what would happen, and you have had to be courageous in persevering with the hope of achieving your educational goals. Events this past year have forced all of us to confront our fears, to enter into uncomfortable but necessary conversations, and to develop an appreciation for one another. All of you have your own unique stories of courage, of growth, and self-discovery. I would like to take a moment to recognize a few graduates and share their stories. Brianne Huckabone. Brianne came to Whatcom to pursue a nursing degree after having an aha moment during a wilderness first responder course in 2018. Nursing faculty Veronica Nikki Ghosh said Brianne, quote, represents the best of Whatcom Community College and our future nurses of Whatcom County. Brianne is a strong leader with the instinctive ability to inspire and encourage others. As the president of the student nurses of Whatcom, she worked to create opportunities for her nursing cohort to stay connected during these unprecedented times. She coordinated club meetings and invited RN nursing guest speakers who offered insights and encouragement to all of those in the cohort. Brianne also volunteered her time doing research in a local organization that provides holistic care to people with HIV. She worked at a community vaccination clinic, as well as working part-time at an assisted living facility. And she also was a volunteer on the ski patrol at the Mount Baker ski area. She did all of this while maintaining a 3.86 GPA. Her high standards of academic achievement, along with her extraordinary service to the campus and greater community, make her a well-deserved recipient of this year's President's Award. After graduating with her nursing degree, Brianne plans to work in a hospital setting and eventually pursue a master's degree in public health. Brianne has also been the recipient of the WCC Foundation Stacey Ray Morse and Baby Delta Ray Memorial Scholarship, and a scholarship from the Northwest Region Nurses Association. Congratulations, Brianne. Thank you for dedicating yourself to one of the noblest professions. There is no doubt in my mind that you will care for your patients with commitment, honor, and courage. Ida Marie Folatoy is this year's Laidlaw Award recipient. The Laidlaw Award is named after WCC's second president, William J. Laidlaw, who was recognized throughout the state for his dedication to educational excellence. Ida exemplifies this award through her demonstrated personal growth, college service, and academic achievements. She has done so while maintaining a 3.0 GPA and continues to make significant contributions to fellow students, the college, and the greater community. Ida's academic focus is in mechanical engineering, with a goal to bring her skills to serve others in humanitarian work. Her interest in engineering was sparked during her service in the Navy as a mechanic working on fighter jets. As a woman of color in the STEM field, her experiences have not always been easy. She continues to fight her way through stereotypes and bias in the classroom and society. Ida courageously shares her lived experiences of inequalities and has continued to be a powerful voice for diversity, equity, and inclusion at WCC. Jason Babcock, the Learning Center director, shared that Ida, quote, is inherently inclusive, making those who works with her feel at ease. She has an enthusiasm for learning that is infectious and a commitment to integrating her passion for engineering with social justice. Her caring and inclusive leadership extends beyond the classroom. Ida has served as a resident advisor in Cedar Hall, a tutor, and a peer mentor. She consistently pushes her peers outside of their comfort zone while supporting them through the work and striving to improve the student experience. She has earned the trust of her peers and residents. They seek her out for answers and support. Ida serves her community with heart. There are those students that also have had an impact that is strong and lasting. Ida will leave behind a legacy of academic success, care, and service to others. She is a person of great character. She will continue to do great things and create change in the best ways. Ida has been the recipient of the WCC Foundation Earl Sedemeyer Scholarship, as well as the Sharif Family Scholarship for Women in Engineering. Congratulations, Ida, on your significant achievements. Demia Birdsong is a first-generation college student. She aspires to be a member of Congress who will focus on uniting broken communities, specifically low-income and minority communities, through reversing gentrification. Born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, Demia moved to the West Coast at the age of 10 and had to learn to navigate a predominantly white community as a person of color. She credits the strong line of women in her life who taught her to stand for what she believes in. When she was 17, she took the initiative to facilitate conversations and organized assemblies about gun control. Her desire to serve her community and give voice to those who are voiceless sparked her interest in politics. At WCC, she studied political science and was an active leader in the Intercultural Center, facilitating conversations on topics such as voting rights, race and gender equality, and climate change. Demia spent the spring quarter serving as a legislative intern for the Washington State Board for Community and Technical Colleges, gaining hands-on experience about the legislative process and representing student voices at legislative hearings. At the end of her internship, she said, "Although my journey with the State Board is coming to an end, this is just the beginning of my advocacy work. With the experience I've gained from this internship, I now have the tools I need for my voice to be heard as a citizen and a student of Washington State. Demia completed her Associate in Arts and Sciences degree in winter quarter and intends to transfer to Western Washington University to pursue a degree in political science and pre-law. Thank you, Demia, for using your voice and advocating on behalf of our students. I can't wait to see your name on the ballot, and you definitely have my vote. The COVID-19 pandemic brought unprecedented challenges to students who were isolated from other students, faculty, and staff. They didn't quite have the Whatcom Community College experience. The Associated Students of Whatcom Community College, ASWCC, student leaders, never lost focus during these times of their mission to engage, support, and assess student voices. Partnering with faculty, staff, and others in the community, they developed and implemented programs to keep their peers connected and engaged. Student Senate, Executive Board, Programming and Diversity Board, and many student club meetings transitioned from in-person to the Zoom platform at the blink of an eye. While I'm sure their responsibilities were challenging in this new environment, our students found unique ways to capitalize on the online environment. They sought out partners in doing their work, partnering with Bellingham Technical College, Western Washington, Lake Washington Institute of Technology, and other higher ed institutions on virtual game nights and other activities. This year's student leaders continued to promote Rock the Vote campaign implemented by previous student leaders. Their tireless efforts were instrumental in the college, earning the distinction of a voter-friendly campus. This distinction was bestowed by the National Student Affairs Administrators in Higher Education. The designation required years of student initiative and planning about how to register, educate, and support student voters. Because of their efforts, WCC is one of only 2 colleges in Washington State to earn this designation for 2021-22. Thank you, ASWCC student leaders, for helping to prepare yourself and your peers for active participation in democracy. There are many more stories that each of you graduates have. I am grateful that you have chosen Whatcom to be part of your story. Each of you are now entering into the next stage of your journey, an adventure filled with challenge and success. Be strong, be brave, be courageous. Look to the future with joy. Seek the opportunities to share your courage with others. Remember that a single act can cause a ripple. A ripple can create a movement, and a movement has the potential to change the course of history. Together, let's find the courage to create positive change in our world, to create a world that celebrates humanity, one where we all belong. Thank you.
Now I have the distinct pleasure to introduce this year's guest speaker, Justin Gill. Justin has been serving at the epicenter of the pandemic, working in the field that's taken center stage the last year and a half, healthcare. Justin is an alumni of the Yale School of Nursing, Georgetown University, University of Washington, and I'm proud to say Whatcom Community College. Justin graduated from Whatcom's nursing program in 2012. Currently, Justin is an advanced registered nurse practitioner working as a family practice clinician in Mill Creek at Providence Health and Services. He is also a lecturer on health policy at UW-Bothell. During the pandemic, he's been interviewed by CBS News, NBC News, MSNBC on the healthcare response to COVID-19. Justin is a passionate advocate for health policy, particularly in the field of nursing. He recently joined the Whatcom Community College Foundation Board of Directors and has already been part of several fundraising campaigns and alumni engagement efforts. It's truly an honor to have him here today to congratulate and inspire our graduates.
Greetings, graduates, family, faculty, and friends. I want to especially thank President Kathy, the college, and the Foundation Board for inviting me to speak with you all today. As a 2012 alumnus of Whatcom Community College's registered nursing program, I'm especially humbled to be joining you all this year for your commencement ceremony, during a transformational time in our society's history. It wasn't long ago that I sat in the same position as many of you, seeking to forge your own path after completing your journey here at Whatcom. Having said that, your experience has been an extraordinarily unique one. Today, I hope that I can remind you all of the important role that you will play in our future. Now more than ever, we need the strengths that you will bring to the table, including innovation, empathy, resilience, and determination. Approximately 16 months ago, the first case of COVID-19 was confirmed in the United States. This case was close to home, being discovered in the same clinic system that I currently work for in Everett, Washington. I look back to this time when there was a significant amount of uncertainty about our future. Who knew that as a consequence of this pandemic, we would have to rapidly transform our education, economy, society, and healthcare system? Even today, I join you virtually, not in person. While I see this as a temporary adjustment to our celebration of your achievements, I feel that this time represents the strength, versatility, and adaptability that you'll all have in supporting a more resilient future society. The pandemic has compounded existing issues related to our healthcare system and our education system, including access to a high-quality, affordable, and equitable college education. The fact that you're all here graduating during such a tumultuous time is both inspiring and impressive. As an urgent care nurse practitioner, I work alongside healthcare workers that have dealt with the virus up close for the past 16 months, having seen, tested, and counseled patients suspected of or confirmed to have COVID-19. Oftentimes, these experiences were repeatedly emotionally and physically stressful, dealing with the direct consequence of a virus that has affected all areas of our society. Additionally, many of the long-standing issues of our healthcare system have been inflamed, including an underfunded public health system, patchy inefficiencies in healthcare access, and socioeconomic and racial inequalities. One area that I see as a silver lining for all of this is our future. All of you today represent our future. And while absolute success is never guaranteed, your ability to adapt and succeed in your education in diverse disciplines in the midst of rapid change and uncertainty gives us all a profound sense of optimism. This pandemic has also taken hundreds of thousands of lives across the country and millions globally. It's gone great lengths to challenge the socioeconomic foundations of our society. In my experience, I feel that it's reminded us that our healthcare system and frontline essential workers are not an unlimited resource. We're reminded every day that work supplies such as personal protective equipment, masks, test kits, and yes, even toilet paper were not an endless supply. We're lucky that in most areas of this nation, we did not reach the level of demand placed on hospitals and systems that currently exist in other international communities. I feel that I was able to address some of the challenges in my day-to-day work and part-time faculty roles, but another way I found I can facilitate change is through my professional association and political advocacy. Much of the care that I delivered directly was impacted by some sort of public policy. Some of the policies that I had an opportunity to work on with other leaders in my field, including helping secure funding for foundational public health services, protecting healthcare workers that might be exposed on the job, staffing legislation for nurses, and supporting more clinical workers on local boards of health. The ability to work on these changes is never a one-person strategy. It requires a coalition of like-minded people willing to work together to improve outcomes. I'd encourage all of you to find a community or organization relevant to your career or interests, where you can feel empowered to work towards change that improves your community, workplace, or society. I feel that the global pandemic and its events over just this past year have reminded us that we can't put the focus just on ourselves, but recognize that we belong to an ecosystem of diverse individuals that require all of us to contribute to positive change. Some examples of this include participating in following public health guidelines to protect not just you, but your family members, friends, and community members. Another example of advocating may be to include in joining your professional association, volunteering on a board or committee, running for local, state, national office, or writing a letter to the editor of your local newspaper to discuss the problems that you see in your work or your community. All of these activities will help you grow as a professional, and they'll support your ability to realize the impact that you can have on specific issues that you might be interested in. Many times, the patients I saw had limited access to the public health system, basic preventative health care, and were directly impacted by the various forces that impact the health of an individual, such as social determinants of health. An additional reflection I would offer after the past couple of years is related to humility and an openness to learn. As many of you have realized, the purpose of a college education extends beyond just a core of base knowledge. The experience has provided you with a foundation for you to continue to learn and develop the skills to incorporate learning in your day-to-day work and life. A willingness to be open to error and be okay with not knowing everything is a sign of strength and self-awareness. A challenge that we face in the years ahead is dealing with instant access to information, many times which might be misconstrued or false. We must continue to develop our skills in discerning fact from fiction and differentiating between reliable and questionable sources. Every day in my clinical and professional work, I learn something new every single day. It's through these experiences that I realize the importance of humility in my own knowledge base and the long journey I still have yet to follow in my own personal and professional life. Finally, in my day-to-day clinical work and as a casual observer of our discourse today, another challenge I feel that we face in the immediate and long term is reconnecting with our peers and bridging many of the divides that have been influenced by isolation, race, discrimination, and hate. In my work with patients, I've had the opportunity to see people that come from a diverse socioeconomic, ethnic, and demographic background. Every patient has a story or a lived experience that has led up to the moment that they trust me with their care. When I see each patient, I've found value in recognizing them first as a fellow human being and not by a label. By establishing this initial human connection with every person, it's much easier to engage in active listening and assume positive intent. This is not to be perceived as passiveness, but a validation of another individual's perspective, even if we disagree. COVID-19 has been a reminder that many of the issues we face transcend who we voted for, where we come from, the color of our skin, or who we love. We do not always have to agree, and disagreement can be healthy if it comes from a position of empathy and compassion. We must remain committed to supporting the development of future frontline providers and workers, and Whatcom Community College is well positioned to do so. Know that your education here at Whatcom is a strong one. As you move on from graduation, know that you'll continue to represent the college in a positive light and show prospective students that community college education can be an enlightening experience for everyone. I'm proud to have started my nursing career here at Whatcom, and I look forward to seeing all of the amazing things that you will all do after your time here. Again, it's a humble honor and privilege to be speaking with you all today on this special day. I hope that you have a chance to celebrate and recognize your achievement. Stay safe and stay well, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Justin, for your inspiring words. This year, we continue a commencement tradition by recognizing 2 faculty members who have demonstrated excellence in their educator roles at Whatcom. These 2 faculty members provide exceptional instruction and support for their students and demonstrate leadership and collegiality in all elements of their work. Thank you to the WCC Foundation for their support of these prestigious awards. This year's Full-Time Faculty Excellence Award winner is Telia Slagle. Telia began at Whatcom Community College as a biology instructor in 2013 and received tenure in 2016. From the moment Telia began, she modeled student-centered teaching practices for her students and colleagues. She excels at her craft, and her students rave about her support for their learning. Telia teaches extremely challenging courses in anatomy and physiology and microbiology, and she provides a variety of teaching and support approaches to maximize students' opportunities for success. For years, Telia has been an exceptionally engaging instructor in the classroom and lab environments, forming meaningful connections with her students and supporting them as they deepen their understanding of the material. Of course, this past year required a tremendous shift in approach with fully online classes in very challenging fields in which to make the shift. Telia has accomplished this masterfully, and it is evident from the student feedback. One student wrote that she gave her class lots of grace and was flexible as we navigated our way through online school. Another student stated that Telia presented the course content in a logical and engaging way. Her web meets were interesting and fun, and she was sensitive to the diverse needs of the students and their personal situations. So much of the faculty focus in this shift to mostly online instruction has been about creating that connections with students in a virtual space, and it is clear that Telia has achieved that goal. In addition to her exemplary work teaching students at the college, Telia has contributed through service in a multitude of ways. Since she first began teaching at Whatcom, she has been a convener of faculty, specifically in the sciences and biology. She has served as the Sciences Department Chair for the past several years, providing high-quality leadership for the faculty and staff in various disciplines, and consequently, for the students. She has served on many committees and is a wonderful contributor to the work of each one. Finally, her background in public health has provided invaluable perspectives for the college over the past year, and she was a trusted resource many times. For all these reasons, I am exceptionally pleased to honor Telia Slagle with the WCC Foundation Full-Time Faculty Excellence Award for 2021. Congratulations, Telia. The winner of the Adjunct Faculty Excellence Award is Cindy Johansen. Cindy has an extensive history of teaching early childhood education courses at Whatcom, starting in 1998. Many of WCC's early childhood education courses have been offered in online and hybrid modalities for years, and Cindy has a well-established reputation of delivering those courses in clear and understandable ways, which is additionally valuable as she is preparing future educators. Her students express deep appreciation for her instruction and for her support of their learning. Student feedback includes countless comments about her organization and presentation of materials and her outreach to students to check on them and their progress. This year, Cindy extended her experience to other faculty at the college by serving as a member of our online support team for faculty, representing the Social Sciences and Business Division. In that role, Cindy provided tips and training for faculty in delivering online instruction and best meeting the needs of our students. In doing so, Cindy was a valued member of a team that contributed to college efforts to support faculty and students over the past year. Her colleagues speak to her considerable expertise and direct benefit to their own instruction in this role. In addition to her excellence in instruction, Cindy has been very involved at the college in ways that go beyond her teaching role. She is an active member of the Adjunct Affairs Advisory Committee. She participates in extensional professional development and faculty learning communities, both as a learner and active contributor. Cindy's work at Whatcom has contributed to changing countless lives through her instruction, and it is an honor to recognize her with the WCC Foundation Adjunct Faculty Excellence Award for 2021. Congratulations, Cindy. Now, Vice President for Student Services, Dr. Luca Lewis, will introduce this year's Student Commencement Speaker.
Good evening. My name is Dr. Luca Lewis, Vice President for Student Services at Whatcom Community College. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce tonight's student speaker, Victoria Elky. Victoria is a 4.0 student graduating with her Associates in Arts and Sciences degree this evening. She is passionate about supporting and connecting with the experiences of others, and was an active participant in WCC's Office of Student Life and Development activities, as well as the Students Leading Change Conference. She was part of the honors program at WCC and said that her public speaking class lit a fire inside her to encourage others and step into more speaking opportunities. After graduating, Victoria plans to attend Western Washington University and major in kinesiology with hopes of becoming a physical therapist. She says now more than ever, she wants to help and serve people in the field of physical therapy, supporting their health and well-being. I think you will be impressed by Victoria's passion and message of encouragement, positivity, persistence, self-growth, and her experiences with the strength of connection through vulnerability. Please welcome Victoria to the stage.
Good evening, faculty and staff, families and friends, and in particular, my fellow graduates. Never in my life would I have dared to dream that one day I would be here sharing a few words at a college commencement ceremony far from my home country. My name is Victoria Elky, and over the past 2 years, Whatcom Community College has turned into one of the best parts of my life. This country, county, and community have become my home away from home. I was born and raised in Germany, and one of the greatest risks I have ever taken was to move to the United States by myself when I was 18 years old. The day I boarded my flight, I had no idea where I would sleep that night. Little money and big dreams. What I did know was that this was my way out of the comfort zone and 10-year plan I had been holding onto so tightly. Thank you to my husband and family for supporting my journey and every kind and welcoming person I have met along the way. I remember the first day I stepped foot into this country just as vividly as the first day I stepped foot into my first lecture in college, math class, when I felt like my heart was beating out of my chest and I felt insecure and vulnerable. What I have learned throughout each quarter, though, is that vulnerability is my strength and the key to connection. There is still a widespread lie that vulnerability is a sign of weakness. The Oxford Learner's Dictionary even defines it as the fact of being weak and easily hurt physically and emotionally. If we go by this definition, no wonder many of us prefer not to open up as much. We don't want to seem weak or feel ashamed when doing so. Today, however, I want to point to the author and researcher Brené Brown's definition. She says, in contrast, that vulnerability is made up of uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure, and that it is the birthplace of love, belonging, joy, courage, empathy, and creativity. A big life experience or milestone, such as moving continents was for me, or moving mountains is for you, might be the first thing to come to mind. But all three of these things can be done quite simply in our day-to-day actions. To my fellow graduates, here are some ways for us to implement these foundational pillars of vulnerability in our lives. Ask more questions. Admit mistakes. Learn to listen carefully and attentively. Ask for help. Share struggles with a trusted person. Stand up for other people. Offer help even at the cost of your discomfort. Seek to truly know others and allow yourselves to be known. For that matter, to embrace failure as an opportunity to grow and connect can open the door to see vulnerability as a strength rather than a weakness. Further, by not giving others the power over us, we take shame out of the picture. In my own experience, sharing vulnerably has led me to feel less alone when challenges arise, and I have gained supportive and strong friendships built on the common ground of humanity. One of the many things I appreciate at Whatcom Community College is the empowerment of diversity, the mission of welcoming people of all backgrounds and beliefs. Within this past year, we have experienced an outcry for change that will echo far into the future. To the African American and Native American communities, as well as people of Asian descent, I acknowledge the long-term injustices that are continued to be perpetrated against you. And while we should continue striving for equality, we must first work towards equity. Thank you for your vulnerability. Thank you for challenging those around you to better understand the depths and layers of the issues this country has been facing for far too long. I, alongside your fellow students, staff, faculty, and administrators, will continue to work towards equity, and with it, a better world. Whatcom Community College stands for, with, and by you. A lot more must be done so that everyone can feel safe, welcomed, and empowered. And where one of us cannot, many of us can make a change significant enough to influence not only ours, but future generations. No matter how the components of vulnerability best apply to your own life, the main component in all of this is to take action, to bring about deep human connection. Today, I want to challenge each one of us to take another step towards change, equity, and connection, to embrace greater vulnerability with the people around you and witness how it positively affects your life experience. Congratulations, class of 2021, we did it. We have put in the work and effort, long hours of studying, for some of us in the comfort of our home, and for most of us amidst discomfort of isolation. Though this was not our first choice, and many of us have missed out on community and life events, I want to invite you to celebrate the perseverance and determination it took for you to get here. Let's all be a little bit more vulnerable today, a little more honest and real, and then again tomorrow, and then a little more the day after. Let's train it as a muscle. Let's grow it as our strength. Thank you.
Thank you, Victoria, for your honest and encouraging remarks. You embody the integrity, perseverance, and commitment to others that so many of WCC's students embrace. Graduates, it's time to confer your degrees. Chair Johansen and members of the Board of Trustees, on behalf of the faculty of Whatcom Community College, I recommend the class of 2021 for the conferring of degrees, certificates, and diplomas.
By the power vested in the Whatcom Community College Board of Trustees, by the Governor of the State of Washington, the appropriate degrees, certificates, and diplomas are hereby conferred.
Juan Alfonso Durango, Mohammed Al-Nuaimi, Irina Amosova, Olivia Anderson, Andrew Anderson, Kelleen Angus, Jose Anthony Bennett, Nikki Apellis, Cassavant Arnold, Leslie Avila, Jorge Ayala, Cherie Baggett, Isabel Bailey, Ian Baki, Catherine Balderos, Karen Balmer, Haley Bambula, Dalton Bankhead, Liam Barr, Ellen Barton, Dakota Beck, Nicole Becker,
Altine Beckbassen,
Kyla Bellamy, Natalie Belmore, Mia Berry, Erin Bausch, Jennifer Black, Sonia Blankers,
Isaac Babadella,
Joshua Bach, Brooke Boliak, Akashpreet Boparai, Madeline Bowler, Amy Boyson, Olivia Brand, Milena Brodal, Donovan Brown, Alex Brulot, Faith Buck, William Buendia, Trent Baltzma, Brennan Butler, Cassidha Carlton, Chase Carter, Emily Casaria, Anna Casey, Jaden Chappell Waters, John Chatterton, Rachel Churn, Matthew Chopek, Helen Serby, Reagan Cobb, Eliza Coffey, Jennifer Coleman, Nathan Coleman, Jordan Corcoran, Tristan Cortez, Nathan Cowley, Isabel Kratzenberg, Bethlehem Dalgleish, Chao Dang, Nyok Dang, Beth DeBoer, Leslie Deegan, Ashley DeHaven, Deborah Delaney, Nami DeLeon, McKenna Delp, Thirapat Divine, Francesca Diaz, Lisa Doe, Jung Doan, Victoria Donovan,
Bryn Duke,
Elisa Dunsmore, Victoria Elk, Cassandra Ernest, Milana Evans, Ida Faulotoy, Olivia Ferguson, Elizabeth Fernandez, Viridiana Ferreira, Jacob Ferry, Kelsey Flawless, McKenna Fleming, Trey Forrest, Natalie Frank, Alexis Fredine, Keith French, Josephine Gabriel, Lexi Gallagher, Cynthia Garcia, Mackenzie Garcia Myers, Shane Garner, Adelina Gizatulina, Kaylin Gobato, Sierra Gomez, Myra Gonzalez Garcia, Cheyenne Graham, Malia Gray, Kimberly Griffin, Elias Grimes, Michelle Gunstrom, Christian Gutierrez,
Avery Height,
Nathan Hall, Bryn Hallberg, Alesha Hamilton, Abigail Harlan, Elise Harlan, Riley Harlow, Layla Hartwell, Saki Hasegawa, Julianne Hegerberg, Rachel Heinke, Sue Hennepin, Marin Herlinger, Julissa Herrera, Danielle Hicks, Shauna Hebert, Megan Heimbaugh, Sarah Herline, Evangelina Holgate, Shelley Honey,
Annie Hopkins,
Jackson Hoppus, Kyle House, Burke Hovde, Wenjin Hua, Brianne Huckabone, Holly Hudgens,
Jasper Hudson,
Brett Hebner, Lakota Houston, Natalie Imbeau, Sarah Ivanhoe, Emma Jardinsky, Aidan Johnson, Carter Johnson, Mercedes Johnson, Olivia Johnson, Alexa Johnston, Samantha Johnston, Kennedy Gerada Kane, Shublin Kang, Sophia Carber, Mariah Kehoe Anderson, Tawny Kemp, Jessica Kerr, Kirsten Kinley, Haley Now, Sherilyn Kohler, Mary Kravchenko, David Krishna, Piada Kwankit Paisan, Nevinta Kusnawara,
Trezil Lane,
Kinsey Lariviere, Hannah Larkin, Brittany Larson, Christine Larson, Allison Latham, Emily Lavier, Matthew Lawrence, Tasha LeMay, Kylie Leonard, Nicole Lewis, Braden Leba, Sarah Lillis, Kay Lim, Daniel Lira, Ashley Lloyd, Kaisha Lobach, Crystal Lockhart, Adrian Lokman, Julia Lukianets, Emma Lundy, Sophia Lyons, Moses MacArthur, Cameron Maddox, Jasmine Magana, Madison Malloy, Alicia Marion, Zoe Marshall, Nathaniel Martins, Caitlin Martinez, Ryan Matthew, Grace McCaffrey, Camille McAvoy, Addison McKay,
Olivia McKenzie,
Abigail McNanny, Myra Mejia Perez, Jacqueline Mendez Ortiz, Liliana Mendoza, Olga Mendoza Alcon,
Olivia Marino,
Peyton Mickelson, Caleb Miles, Whitney Minifee, Brielle Morris,
Connor Morrison,
Jeffrey Morrow, Haliana Myers, Tatiana Nielsen, Alexander Nelson, Julia Nelson, Man Kit Ng, Ni Nguyen, Shauna Nielsen, Delaney Niles, Diana Nolasco, Landon North, Liam O'Bannon, Audrey Oscarson, Cassidy Osman, Jessica Parat, Kristen Park, Heidi Patterson, Connor Paulson, Jonathan Perez, Lily Peris, Nguyen Pham, Quinn Fan, Michaela Phillips, Mackenzie Pilkey, Beth Piper, Abigail Pope, Tori Powell, Thomas Perkis, Isaac Purser, Brittany Quillen, Abdul Rahman, Mercedes Ramos, April Reed, Brett Rendell, Axel Rendon, Tyler Reynolds, Destiny Reynolds, Erica Rivera, Tara Robertson, Emily Robinson, Kimberly Rodriguez, Joseph Rollins, Jordan Rosa, Jennifer Rosas, Brendan Rosenkrantz, Emily Ross, Leslie Rostron, Dylan Russell, Caitlin Rattan, Jennifer Salazar Cruz, Ashlyn Sanday, Pauline Sandoz, Kushvir Sangha, Eric Santiago, Nfansu Sao, Kaylee Schmid, Christina Selinsky, Clea Senna,
Emily Sharp, Ming Shen,
Lawrence Shields,
Simon Schultes,
Jacob Sikich, Kale Simpson, Akum Singh, Karanveer Singh, Kelly Small,
Montana Smith,
Jenna Smith, Caleb Smith, Michelle Smith, Andrew Snyder, Ian Snyder, Richard Souls, Isher Somal, Joshua Steele, Shauna Stewart, Emily Stift, Hope Stoddard, Valentina Stoliar, Andrew Stone, Shayana Strickland, Stephanie Strong, Tasia Susch, Megan Sutton, Katie Sitzma, Donovan Talento, Jasmine Tapia, Selena Tate, Darian Tasia, Michelle Tina, Sydney Terrasi,
Olivia Thompson,
Mackenzie Thornquist, Michelle Toktokan, Dante Ptolemy, Racharin Tunda, Atsiri Torres Benito, Hung Tran, Tu Hong Tran, Andrew C., John Tucker, Ashley Tugman,
Jordan Tyler,
Corey Valdez, Ayana Vargas, Perla Vargas Olivares,
Caitlin Velasco,
Vadim Vinogradov, Amanda Vreeman, Artemisia Wangler, Ellen Ward, Emma Wegg, Linnea Wirtz, Blake Westcom, Sean Whitmore, Amy Whittle, Edward Wijaya, Sarah Wilkins, Heather Williams, Marlo Ann Williams, Damon Winters, Eden Wallman, William Worthy, Chaomeng Shu, Sabrina Yarsley, Bobby Yazzolino, Chelsea Zender, Kwan-Yong Zhao, Eleni Zurkos,
Hi, my name is Wendy Balke. I am a trustee here at Whatcom Community College. All of us trustees were appointed by Governor Inslee at no salary attached to serve as the representative of the state of Washington and all of you. I have to tell you, it's a great honor to be here today and celebrate with you the achievements that these students have experienced through the hard work of faculty, staff, them, and the families and friends who supported them with late night snacks and trips here and there for field trips. But in any case, it is a great day. But I'd like to give you students another thank you for something that hasn't happened yet. And that's what you're going to do tomorrow. It has to do with your persistence. And I want to thank you for persisting in your efforts in getting further education, further job experience, and to move forward in life. And hopefully it all goes well for you because we're all rooting for you. Thank you very much. And again, congratulations.
Graduates, your dedication to your education, taking into consideration the difficulties that you encountered this year with COVID-19, is an inspiration to all of us for all of your hard work. We're very proud of you. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Hi, I'm John Pedlow, and I'm just finishing my 7th year as trustee at Whatcom. They've all been good years, but this has been a crazy one, and I want to congratulate all of you, the faculty, the administration, but especially you, the students, for what you've done to drive through the year. You've had to accept, to adjust, to adapt, to do whatever it took to get through and be successful, but you persevered and you did it. I want to wish you all continued success as you move into your next step. I know you'll be successful, you have a great background, and congratulations again to the class of 21.
Congratulations, graduates. I wish you the very best for your future and hope you will carry warm memories of your time here at Whatcom Community College. Pursue your dreams and make a positive contribution to the world.
Graduates, please stand. As rightful recipients of your degrees, certificates, and diplomas, you may now move your mortarboard tassel to the left side of your cap. Cheers to all the graduates, and here again, congratulations to all of you, the graduating class of 2021. Family, friends, faculty, and staff, thank you for joining us for today's special ceremony. Let us give our graduates another round of applause and recognition. Thank you all.